So if you have a vehicle and you think you have a bad distributor, I thought I'd go over some of the symptoms of a bad distributor and how you go about fixing it if it is. And so what are some of the symptoms of a bad distributor? Well, the check engine light very likely will come on. The engine might not start. The engine might run badly or really roughly. And there very likely is going to be a misfiring going on, and it might possibly be backfiring. And there can be many different symptoms of a bad distributor because it's controlling the spark, going to the spark plug, and you can also control the timing with the distributor. Since if you turn it, you can advance or retard the timing a little bit. So a bad distributor can have some different symptoms. But basically, if the timing's off a little bit, or if you're having any kind of issues with spark, then that's a sign that there's something going on with the distributor. And so the first thing to do, if you think you have a bad distributor, is to go examine the distributor cap and the rotor. Since these are very common problems with the distributor, these need to be changed out regularly. Since they become worn out and they become damaged and they don't work properly anymore, like 80% of the time, if you have a problem with the distributor, it's very likely going to be the rotor cap or the distributor cap. So basically, go and examine the distributor cap, check all these pickups going all the way around, and be sure that there's no buildup or no damage going on to any of them. Right here inside the center is where the coil sends its spark to be distributed all the way around to all the pickups all the way around, going to all the spark plugs. And so check this out really good. Check out that rotor, because any buildup or damage to the rotor cap or distributor is going to cause an issue. And so that's definitely something to go check. It's usually best to go ahead and just replace those, especially if they look damaged. But first thing to go and do is check out the distributor cap and the rotor cap. If you do swap out the distributor cap, keep in mind that all these wires need to go back to the correct position. So you'll want to line up your new distributor cap with these notches, and then you're going to want to transfer them one by one to the new cap inside the correct order, because if these get mixed up, you're going to throw off the firing order, and that's going to cause more problems. There's some good YouTube videos you can watch if you need to, but basically these spark plug wires just need to be transferred to the new cap inside of the same position, or else it's going to throw everything off. And so if you check out the distributor cap and the rotor and that all looks good, then there might be an issue with the entire distributor, especially if the vehicle has really high mileage. So there might be an issue with the entire distributor, and it might need to be swapped out. The whole distributor is held in place usually with just like one bolt and a U-shaped bracket. It's usually just like a 1/2 inch or 9/16 bolt. And this is mainly because you can loosen this up and adjust the timing by turning it left or right. So there'll be one bolt holding it on. The bottom of the distributor is going to have these gears, and this gear is going to slide into the camshaft, and this needs to be aligned perfectly or else it's going to throw off the timing. So what you do before you swap out a whole distributor, and what you want to do is you want to get the #1 cylinder to what's called TDC, or top dead center. And it's basically going to be this rotor cap's going to be pointing at the #1 spark plug, because again, this is going to affect timing and the firing order. So it has to be exact. And then you mark it, and then when you slide in the new distributor into the cam, then the new one should be pointing at the exact same location. The very bottom of the distributor is going to have a little notch that goes onto the oil pumps. So you're going to want to make sure that contact's good. But the basics of swapping out a distributor is to get it lined up with that #1 cylinder so the engine's properly timed. There's some good YouTube videos on how you go about doing that if you do need to swap out a distributor, but that's the basics of how you do it. And so what are some signs and symptoms of a bad distributor? Well, first of all, anything to do with spark, or if you got a misfiring cylinder or anything like that, you want to go check the distributor, and mainly the rotor cap and the distributor cap, and be sure there's no cracks, there's no buildup or any damage to those, because those are very common failure points in the distributor. If you check those and those all look good and they're not damaged or anything like that, or you replace them and you're still having the issue, then the distributor might have failed and it can be also replaced. The main thing to keep in mind if you swap out a distributor or the distributor cap or anything is that the spark plug wires need to go back in the exact same position, and if you swap out the distributor, it needs to be aligned correctly. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to make a quick video on the symptoms of a bad distributor and how you can go about fixing it. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.